Blackhawks hockey is brought to you by BMO Harris Bank. We're here to help. Honda, start something special with a great deal on Honda. Now it's your Honda dealer. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. MB Financial Bank. MB means business. And by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
The Chicago Blackhawks would like to welcome 5 very special guests who are battling the fight against pediatric cancer. Joining Blackhawks starters on the blue line for the national anthems are 12-year-old James Randolph from Lake Bluff, Illinois. 9-year-old Leonardo Sordo from Lake Villa, Illinois. 10-year-old Jacob Shelton from Chicago, Illinois. 5-year-old Kaylee Marth from Burr Ridge, Illinois. And 6-year-old Carlos Rios from Chicago, Illinois. The Blackhawks welcome these 5 inspirational kids and honor them on this special night. Ladies and gentlemen, dropping the ceremonial puck tonight is truly a special guest. A big Blackhawks fan, he was diagnosed in 2011 and is currently battling acute lymphoid leukemia. Please welcome 12-year-old Gabriel Colon. Joining Gabriel at center ice, please welcome Ottawa Senators captain Erik Karlsson and Chicago Blackhawks captain Jonathan Toews. Thank you, Gabriel. This past week, tragedy struck in Ottawa in separate attacks where 2 Canadian soldiers were killed. Please join us in a moment of silence as we send our thoughts and prayers to the nation of Canada and its people. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now please remain standing for the singing of the Canadian National Anthem. Then please remain standing to honor U.S. Army Staff Sergeant James Gordon, U.S. Marine veteran Sergeant Wayne F. Carlson, and join organist Frank Pellico and soloist Jim Cornelison for the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command. Caton brace porte le peu, il se porti la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée, mes plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, send us that star-spangled banner yet wave. For the land of the free and the home of the
Blackhawks hockey coming your way in high definition tonight, brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And as we consider the goaltending matchup tonight, I wonder if it's ever happened that two Chicago-born kids are NHL starters to oppose one another. Eddie told you about Scott Darling, the Lemont boy, and he mentioned there's a lot of them. Yeah, 6'6", 230. And there are some who say he might have been the best goaltender in training camp for the Chicago Blackhawks this year. He had a terrific camp, and you see what he's done in Rockford. Spectacular numbers turned in as a member of the Ice Hogs in the early going. And there's the Park Ridge boy, Craig Anderson, who's been in the league for a long time, and in his first 3 appearances this season, just 6 goals against. So he is off to a good start for Paul McLean's Ottawa Senators. There's Steve Kazari. He is paired up with Eric Furlat as the referees, the linesman Brad Lazarowicz and Mark Shuchik. All right, Andrew Shaw opens up for the Hawks. He's got Kane and Saad on either side. The Mika Zibanejad line opens up for Ottawa, and this one's underway. Bouncing puck in the Hawks zone comes to Zibanejad for Carlson, a long free shot, and a save by Darling. Rebound deflected in behind. And I'm sure for Scott Darling, that's great to get an early test, not have to wait around for the puck to find you, and there he makes a save on a long wrister.
Not easy saves, too, so welcome to the National Hockey League, Chicago native Scott Darling. A couple of good chances there, both coming from the outside the dots, which is a good thing for the Blackhawks defensively. I'm sure good to field that puck in his very first National Hockey League game.
Burris had it protected center. Bickle, oh, they almost went knee to knee as Ryan took a run at him. Hawks able to dump it in. Now Kyle Turris, good stick at center ice by Hjalmarsson, but the Senators eventually dump it. Hjalmarsson gets help from Hossa, looking ahead for Taves. Jonathan Taves into Ottawa territory, right around Weirkock to the net, and a save. Anderson then got bowled over. That's going to be no goal. The net came off, the goalie got run over, and if the puck crossed the line, it happened after all of that.
Well, a terrific move by Jonathan Taves to go outside, inside, take the puck to the net. Being pushed in behind by Patrick Weirkoch, and there you see Weirkoch knocked the net off, completely off its moorings. But there will be no penalty on the play. It's that incidental contact with the goaltender interference, and it's under the referee's judgment on whether or not he wants to give a penalty. Face-off comes outside. Yes, he does. That's right, and he chooses not to on that particular play.
Anderson clears it over to the boards. Kane loose to Sharp in behind. Patrick Sharp checked by Ceci. Puck picked up by Versteeg. Chris Versteeg into the corner. Sharp. Good shot around the boards. And Hoffman for Ottawa. Pressured by Seabrook, but he's able to get it out. And Ceci put it ahead. Here's Chris Neal. He drives, he shoots, and he missed the net. Rebound bounce to center. Can be 2-on-1. If Versteeg could catch up to it, but he could not. Now here's Neal. Tried to get to the middle, but too much traffic there for Chicago.
Good play there by Chris Phillips, the veteran, stepping up on Versteeg.
And a penalty coming up here as the Senators were going to steal a pass. Condra had a good read and then got hooked by Kruger, who's going to get a whistle.
Chicago 16, Tim Meyer for hooking.
Well, the right call made on the ice. Marcus Kruger reaching in, did not have good body position. Maybe on the left part of your screen. There's the hook on Eric Condra, and the Ottawa Senators get a early power play here in the first.
Zibanejad pulled the draw back. Ryan dropped it back. There's Zibanejad. He goes down low to Bobby Ryan. Mika Zibanejad to Erik Karlsson. Now Ryan touched it in front. It came through to Karlsson. A hot pass tip. Right on. What a save by Darling. A redirected shot by McCulloch. And Darling came up with a terrific stop.
Boy, what a terrific stop by Darling. The Ottawa Senators moved that puck around, high tip into the slot area, and Darling moving left to right with a terrific stop. And then Duncan Keith with a little tap on the pads.
Zibanejad put it out in front. Oh, a little too hot to handle. It came outside the line.
Duncan Keith recognized, Pat, how good that save was that Darling made there with that little shot from the...
Zibanejad got her on one man, centered it. Oh, Darling from post to post. He beat Chiasson with a terrific stop. And two real good saves here in the first 3 minutes for the kid. Karlsson quickly back up the ice for the Sens. Ryan trying to walk on Hjalmarsson, could not. Held in Wiercauch across to Karlsson. Wiercauch goes across and a pass to Karlsson. Quick shot, partially blocked. Darling still needed to make the save. Mark MacArthur kept it in. Then a steal by Hjalmarsson on a good read. And a puck picked up by Keith. Greg Anderson steers that long one aside. Wiercauch brings it back around the board. Now David Legwand dropped it back. Now has it again. Legwand looking on the Ottawa power play. Dropped it out to the line. Ceci. Wiercauch, a long shot. That deflected up high. And a board battle won here by Hossa. Able to clear it. That will finish the Ottawa power play. Both teams are back at full strength. Now Versteeg got tackled by Wiercauch, and the Hawks will get a power play after killing an Ottawa man advantage.
Well, the Hawks are going to go on a power play, but here's that terrific stop on Chiasson. Pass from Zibanejad. Scotty Darling going right to left, making himself big. They're going right to left, partner. And then there's the penalty by Wiercauch on Chris Versteeg. Boy, 7 shots on goal already early for the Ottawa Senators.
Hawk power play 6 out of 29 this year. Keith and Sharp have Taves, Kane, Shaw up in front.
2 minutes for holding at 4:32, resulting in a Blackhawks power play.
Taves gets back to the line. He's checked right away by Ceci. Now Keith Kane will step in. His pass, though, deflected out of the zone.
Good stick there from Cece. It's amazing what happens, Pat. How often do we talk about it when sticks are on the ice? How many times it just happened to hit him by chance? Now, he was trying to knock that puck down, that pass from Kane to Toews, but get your stick on the ice, probably good things are going to happen regardless.
Patrick Sharp left it for the captain, Toews. Takes a look to Kane. Dropped it back to Sharp, then Keith. Kane to Toews, trying to stop it home instead for Kane, but his shot deflected before reaching the net. And the Sens able to clear it with 40 left on the Hawks man advantage. Brad Richards last night had a season low 11 minutes of ice time, gave it a side, trying to center. Hossa tapped it loose. There's Seabrook. Now Richards. Try to get everything organized. Hossa dropped it to Seabrook. Here's a long shot, deflected wide by Bickle, who was stationed at the front of the net. Sends clear, penalty over, both teams full strength.
Good job there by Bickle, Pat, to get a piece of that. That would have been icing against the Hawks. That puck was about 4 feet in the air. He did a good job of just getting a piece of it, negate the icing.
Brian Bickle last night in only 12.5 minutes of ice time had 6 hits in a game that was going to be physical all throughout. I really was surprised that he played very little in the third period. I wasn't sure why that benching happened, but here comes Moore looking to drive the net to the backhand. Didn't get rid of much of an opportunity. And the Sens start back. Maybe the anxiety after not playing for 3 games hurt more in there. Here's a wrist shot. Kruger gloved by Anderson, and an Ottawa penalty coming up again. Chiasson going to make them short-handed. Hawks to their second power play when we come back.
Well, welcome back to the United Center. What a debut it's been for the Chicago native. Born in Lamont, went to Lamont High School, now makes his home in Bloomingdale. But you think about where he's played all his minor hockey here, Pat, played for Team Illinois, played for the Young Americans, and then worked himself to North Iowa, Indianapolis Ice of the USHL, University of Maine. He played in Louisiana in the Southern Pro League. He played in the East Coast League in Florida. Played for the Hamilton Bulldogs in the American Hockey League last year in Milwaukee in the American Hockey League. Now he gets a chance to play for his hometown team. Boy, has he been good here early.
All right, Chiasson gave the Senators a penalty. Hawks on their second power play. Kane's pass picked off Ryan. And he's able to work his way back to center. So now Keith leads the Hawks back. Kane. He'll chip it deep. A board battle in behind, and the Sens Condra picked it up. Oh, and he just barely dribbled it over Keith's stick. Now Duncan Keith. He'll pick his way back into the zone, looking towards Toews. He got checked in the corner. Shaw had his pass hit the side of the net, and the Hawks will need to regroup with a minute remaining on their power play. Now a bouncing puck captured by Saad, trying to get in, but 3 white sweaters were right in front of him.
It's the entries right now, partner. Having a tough time just getting the puck in, get it set up. Again, when you play against a pressured penalty-killing team, you got to change sides. Like, this puck's got to move from side to side now. Take Ottawa out of their set. Good job there. Now the Hawks can get into the rotation.
Saad, they get Bickle to the front of the net. Hossa for Saad. It just dribbled off the end of his blade right toward Anderson, who sticked it away. A clearing attempt hit a partition and jumped away from Seabrook. He's got to dive to prevent a Legwand breakaway. He still got it. Legwand right in. Darling, a huge save on the Sens were short. So a near disaster for the Hawks on their power play, and Scott Darling off to a rip-roaring start for the home side. Richards with a chip and chase. Anderson came out to clear it himself. And McCulloch shot it the other way. Condra drive, shooting. Well out came Darling. He made a good save. The Ottawa penalty over, both teams at full strength. Kruger wristed it in there. Now back of the goal, Morin walked out in front, shooting. Oh, he hit the crossbar. Rebound taken by Hjalmarsson. Around for Versteeg. Chris Versteeg battles out in front of his backhand, couldn't get rid of it. Now Oduya spins it around the wall. Here's Jeremy Morin. Shot it in behind. Kruger there. Leaves it Versteeg. Looks back to Oduya. Then Hjalmarsson, a one-timer. And a stick save made by Anderson. Rebound. Penalty coming up to the Hawks.
Tom Morin, Pat, for knocking over, I believe he knocked over Craig Anderson as he was trying to back up into his post.
Ottawa to the power play when we return.
Going on here, partner, early in this game. Jeremy Morin interferes with Craig Anderson. Power play coming for Ottawa. Jeremy Morin a little bit earlier in his shift. He hits the post in behind Craig Anderson. And I'll tell you what, this game could be 3-0 if it wasn't for Scott Darling. The Ottawa Senators have had 3 A-plus chances. They've had 2 A chances. What a terrific stop there off at David Legwand.
Oh, the Sens back to the power play. They peppered the net their first chance with 4 shots on target. Here's the draw taken by the Hawks. Keith with time to take a look. Teams played twice last year. The Hawks beat the Sens 6-5 in this building. They lost 5-3 up in Ottawa. And I mentioned this briefly before, but these teams are going to get together later this week. We'll be in Ottawa on Thursday night. So the season series begins and ends this week. All right, now Carlson moved it ahead. Ryan Chiasson tried to center, picked off Seabrook with the clear. Erik Karlsson bounced it loose to Kyle Turris. Good back pressure, Hossa. A minute remains on the Ottawa man advantage. Karlsson hoping that his man can get there first. That happens, and a shot right through the goal mouth by MacArthur, and then the pass bounced away from Karlsson.
Oh, a heck of a play there with Karlsson, just recognizing that he could get that puck in, not get an icing called, and create a chance.
Now a chance for Turris. The shot, shoulder save, Darling, and it's up off the netting. Out of play. But a couple of times early, Eddie, we've seen Scott Darling. He'll be aggressive coming out of his net.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He takes up a lot of room. When you go at a goaltender like that, Pat, there's not a lot you see. I mean, there's really not a lot of room. You see him come out and cut down that angle, and maybe a little bit of a graze of the top of the net as well, but just a good stop, and that's a sign of a confident goaltender.
Yeah.
That to be out on top of the blue paint, not to be buried inside that net. So far, so good, and a couple of quality chances. That's a quality chance there for a guy like Kyle Turris, who certainly knows what to do with the puck in the offensive zone.
Taves got the face-off, so the Hawks clear, and the Sens rush is jammed up at center. Phillips turns. Now here they come. Centering pass, just missing Smith. Neal had it stripped by Hossa. Phillips chipped it deep. Now the Chicago penalty over. Both teams full strength. And here's Moore just out of the box, chasing it down. He races in there. Moore in the shot. He just missed the net. Rebound taken by Phillips. He got hit hard by David Rundblad, who's in the Hawks lineup tonight. And Rundblad now looks ahead to Versteeg. Rundblad will dump it. Actually, David Rundblad spent about a half a year with the Ottawa Senators, and when they traded him, the guy they got back was Kyle Turris, and he's a huge part of the Senator offense. Center on their top line. Ottawa now guilty of icing.
Jeremy Morton's had a good start to this game, Pat, after being a healthy scratch for a few games. Comes right out of penalty box, puck's on edge, head up all the way, keeps the puck to the outside. If he settles it down ever, but good opportunity there and try to get too fancy, and you see the numbers on Morin so far. 3/4 of the way through here in the first.
Sharp wins a draw, so Rundblad shoots it into the glove of Craig Anderson.
Well, fans, don't miss your chance to catch all the exciting Blackhawks action from in between the player benches. Bid on the CME Group seats through the online CME Group seats auction. For more info, visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com.
Right now it's picked up by Van Riemsdyk. Carlson brings it around the boards, the veteran Phillips. Now it's turned over. Here's Richards, put it past behind Rundblad, who did well to receive it. Back of the goal is Richards taking a look in front. Van Riemsdyk joined the play, took a whack. His stick partially checked by Phillips. So we didn't get a lot on the shot. I said Phillips, sorry, Neal is the guy who made the defensive play.
You mentioned about Brad Richards, Pat, about the ice time aspect being on the lowest end as a member of the Blackhawks last night. But as that game went on, Richards got stronger. He played on that line with Sharp and Versteeg. He makes a real good play there to Trevor Van Riemsdyk, and puck went right into the catching glove of the other Chicago native, the veteran, as far as the duo in goal, Craig Anderson.
Now the Sens get in. Smith's long wrist shot blockered aside by Darling. Picked up by Keith. Pass ahead from Seabrook was intended for Shaw, and that was well read by the Sens. Shaw got a jolt as the puck arrived. Saad steps in. Here's a wrist shot right on, soaked up by Anderson with 6 minutes remaining in a scoreless first in the UC.
Report is sponsored by Illinois Bone and Joint Institute. Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, helping you move better so you can live better. And a lot of bad luck for Danny Carcillo, out for an extended period of time. And this game, Pat, is only being refereed by one official. That's Steve Kazari. Eric Furlat was the other official, taken ill, so we only have one referee and the two linesmen. So this is old-time hockey.
Old school, yeah, we like it. By the way, we've talked a lot about Chicago. He's not a native, but Steve Kazari lives in the area now.
We certainly wish Danny Carcillo all the best, Pat. I think we've talked about it. I mean, he's made a big impact on this team. Yes, one goal, but the physical aspect of it, creating some chances, some energy, and hopefully he can bend up. You know, he's going to get the best care, and hopefully see Danny back on the ice really soon.
Ventura seemed to hang on that a little too long, cost him a shooting chance. Taves the other way. Jonathan Taves likes seeing Ottawa on the schedule. Last year he had 3 goals, 2 assists in 2 games against the Senators. As Oduya rings it around, Bickle's in behind. Looks out in front there, Chalmers, and he shoots! Anderson! Huge stop as he came out to meet the bid. And he hangs onto it. Craig Anderson, we mentioned a Chicago boy as well, born in Park Ridge, and of course he started his career with the Blackhawks organization. But ever since he's left here, he loves seeing him on the schedule. Here's why: just 1 loss in 8 decisions in games he's played against the Blackhawks. And the Ottawa Senators actually sort of changed their rotation. Now they had, if you were with us in the start of the game, there was a moment of silence for the tragedy that happened in Ottawa, and with the game being postponed, Anderson not necessarily originally scheduled to play tonight, but just the way things had transpired over the last week. The rotation got a little bit out of sorts, and Anderson not unhappy. He gets the chance to play against the team he first started with in the NHL.
Good chance there for Andrew Shaw. Yeah, he bulldogged
That was a
one.
bulldog move on Smith. Zach Smith will
That's
stay in
one,
against
I
Saad.
guess that's one way to get kicked out of a face-off there. Make it mean something. I think I heard the linesman say that's unacceptable.
Here's Saad in behind with a stop attempt that didn't get completed. Kane outs it to Keith. A long flipper, kicked away Anderson. And Chie-San hoists it out to center. And that Balata puck just stuck there, and now the Hawks move back in.
Like one of your 7-irons. About 195. Exaggerating. Maybe a little 190. Now we got a little to-do going on behind the plate. Chie-San and Saad. Borwicki and Shaw were over on the boards having a little to do, and now Steve Kazari is just going to start pointing and looks like putting people in the penalty box.
So Borowiecki and Shaw are both going to have a seat after that get together.
Hawks now have a 2-shot advantage when it comes to the shots on goal, now 14-12. That last chance, Pat, when you're talking about Craig Anderson and his numbers against the Hawks, it was a real good play by Brian Bickle to get the puck to Nicholas Hjalmarsson, who jumped into the play and create that quality chance. You get the 4-on-4 here, man-on-man. The forwards have the defensemen, defensemen have the forwards. A lot of room out there. Got to make sure you have somebody.
That hand pass was in the defensive zone, so play on. You can't do it outside your own end, but inside it's no problem. Taves will carry it in, looking towards Versteeg. Back to Taves, he drives. Hangs on, Taves the shot. That hit a leg in front to Seabrook. Back to Taves, a one-timer block Phillips. Now Taves, left it for Versteeg. Back to Keith with a long blast. That deflected wide of the target. And the send. Vinajad just bounces back the other way. Both teams making some changes.
A real good shift there for that unit of 4.
A minute remains on the coincidental minors. Here's Hossa with some speed in on Wiercott. Cuts in, shooting good stick. Wiercott who tipped the drive wide. And back come the send. Hoffman rings it around. Back pressure again from Hossa, which is a regular occurrence. Now it's held in. Ceci put it across. Wiercott had a problem with it. There's Legwand. He tried to center Ceci, and a good stick deflected the attempt wide. Back comes Hossa. The Hawks will change as Oduya peels back. Johnny Oduya. Pass deflecting out of the reach of Sharp. Now the Sens move back up the ice. Kyle Turris rolled it ahead. Here's the bouncing puck eluding. MacArthur winds up in behind. Captured by Sharp. The coincidental's over. The lead pass deflected before reaching Shaw. So both teams are back at full strength. Now the Sens tried to spring MacArthur. It didn't work out. Rundblad helped by Morin. Then he and Kruger weren't sure who was going to take it. Here's Turris centering. Good stick. Keith out in front of the net. And the puck deflects out of play.
Well, in support of cancer awareness, Blackhawk players wore a one-of-a-kind jersey during warm-ups tonight. Each jersey is individually autographed by the player that wore it and are currently available for auction at ChicagoBlackhawks.com. All proceeds will benefit Chicago Blackhawk charity. And there they are.
All right, here's the draw. Hjalmarsson bouncing it into Otto ice. 2 minutes to go in the first. There have been 27 shots in the game total, 15 Chicago. Morin looking to add another and fumbled it. Now the lead pass, they're going to have a 2-on-1. Neal cuts to the net, a drag move, and he never get rid of the shot. What a play by the kid Van Riemsdyk. Neal had to wait so long, eventually nothing happened. And back come the Hawks. Smith looking to drive, shooting. Anderson stopped it. And the rebound to the Sens. Carlson backhands it to the neutral area. Now Keith is Sharp. Back pressure at center by Hoffman. And now the Sens headed into the Hawks. A penalty off the play. Hoffman got together with Sharp, who wound up on the deck. And let's see what referee Kazari has here. Looks like they're both going to go.
Chicago number 10, 2 minutes interference. Number 68, Ottawa, 2 minutes rough. 4-on-4.
Well, left part of your screen, there's Patrick Sharp, a little bit of a stick, punch, interference. One referee caught it. 4-on-4 hockey again.
Now Chris Phillips, really the only defenseman in the Ottawa lineup tonight that you could call a wily veteran. I mean, he's got over 1,100 NHL games, but most of them have 100 or less. Carlson's pass goes back to Phillips. Final minute now of the opening frame. I mean, this pairing of Carlson and Phillips, you know, Carlson has 300 games in the NHL, and I mean, he's a heck of a player. An interesting one. Kane moves in with a shot. Good save, Anderson. But every other Ottawa defenseman has 100 games or less in the NHL. So not a lot of experience on the back end for Paul McLean's team tonight. Kane left it for Taves. Back to Hjalmarsson. He wanted a tip from Kane. Just barely missed his stick. And Anderson covers.
Man, I want to go back to a play by Jeremy Morin and from our BMO Harris Bank telestrator. What he's trying to do here is he's trying to move this puck here to Nicholas Hjalmarsson. And he just over stick handles here. He's just better off to just let that puck go. Now, if we let him continue to play, to pick up your point, there's Trevor Van Riemsdyk coming over and played a 2-on-1. But look at the effort. Stop it right here. Look at the effort by Morin and by Van Riemsdyk. So, yeah, breakdowns are going to happen, but you got to put your head down and come all the way back. And I like the way that Morin's played here in this game, Pat, and with Kruger and with Ben Smith. I like how that line is looked. So, again, less stick handling. Get the puck to Hjalmarsson right away. And then you had TVR back there to help bail out the guy that made a mistake, and that's teamwork. So good job there by both guys.
Now Smith cleared it to center, 7 seconds. It's a steal. Oh, offside is the ruling though, and the whistle goes. Well, we mentioned this briefly, Eddie, but you know, Jeremy Morin hasn't played the last 3 games, so you know he wants to be noticeable to make a mark tonight, and first chance he got, you could tell there's a little anxiety, but sure, this has been a period that's got to be very helpful to him, because you're right, he's been very, very solid for the most part in the opening 20.
Yeah, I mean, he's been confident with the puck. And he took the penalty, but I mean, that's a penalty you don't mind. You're trying to get the puck, and yeah, you got to stay out of the crease. Don't bump the goaltender, but don't forget, he hit the post.
Yep.
And he got that chance coming out of the box, so, you know, hey, it's right there. So confidence is such an important part. Well, what a period, though, for Scott Darling, Pat. I mean, he was the star of that period, no question.
There should have been a goal or two very early for the visitors. It didn't happen. He stops all 12, but he faced 17 shots on goal for the Blackhawks. But Darling, particularly in the first 5 minutes, answered every challenge. And we're scoreless at the end of 1.
TV, and were those people cheering because they were sending it to us? I think that was kind of, the crowd was cheering because we were getting it from them, right? Well, the Blackhawks second period is brought to you by MB Financial Bank. MB means business.
Well, let's go back to the start of the game tonight. It is Hockey Fights Cancer Night tonight, and I thought this was really a cool situation. There's young Gabe Cologne, who's from Algonquin, and he dropped the ceremonial faceoff. Now, you expect this from Jonathan Toews. That's an autographed stick that he gave to the young man. Look at Erik Karlsson. He signed that stick as well, and so both captains passed their game sticks to Gabe Cologne. You could tell he was pretty jacked up about the whole thing. And what a week for that young man. Some of you may have seen on local sports coverage over the last few days that he actually was on the ice with the Blackhawks after a practice a couple of days ago, and great opportunity for him, and really was a wonderful experience for the Blackhawk players too. Everybody we talked to about it, they just raved about what a great young guy he was and how much fun it was to have him out there.
Hard not to get emotional seeing that whole presentation by the Blackhawks before the start of this game.
Right underway in the second, still 4 against 4. Here's Keith trying to center. Toews settles it down with the wrap, and he scores! Jonathan Toews got Anderson down to the far post, carried it around the net. 21 seconds in, it's a 1-0 Hawk lead. And that's going to be the 500th career point for Patrick Kane.
Well, our Honda goal replay shows us the quick little wraparound by Jonathan Toews, but this play was made in the middle of the ice. From Kane to Keith to Toews, and Craig Anderson lost his net here, Pat. He loses his net, and Jonathan Toews is able to reach all the way around, and as you acknowledged back in the first period, partner, the Hall of Famer himself said that Jonathan Toews loves playing against the Ottawa Senators. And the captain continues to add to his career numbers against the Ottawa Senators.
All right, now the Sens retrieve their dump in. It goes back to Ceci, who's well covered, but it's held in, although knocked down with a high stick by Borowiecki, so.
And we're going to go back to this goal from our BMO Harris Bank telestrator, and I want all you young hockey players out there. There's Jonathan Toews. Look where he is. He's below the goal line in his own zone. He makes a quick little pass, but look at the hustle. He recognizes this can become a 3-on-2. The quick little pass. Ottawa overplays it, and then Toews with a quick little wraparound after getting the pass from Duncan Keith. That's the way you do it. That's why he's as good a player as there is in the entire National Hockey League when it comes to playing 200 feet defensively and then offensively.
Second goal of the year for the captain as we get back to 5 against 5. The coincidentals over.
Blackhawk goal his second of the season. Scored by
Graining
Toews.
dumped it in for the Sens.
At 21 seconds.
Cleared up the boards. Torres held it in. Got it into the middle. There's Graining taking a look. His shot never got to the net. Kyle Torres, good stick there by Shaw. And the Hawks will start away. Now Weirkosh will start the Senators back. Cleared it in. Ryan, a wrist shot, goes off the leg of Seabrook. And it's picked up by Brent Seabrook. Long feed. Here comes Shaw. He's going to get to the net. Shaw, the shot. Anderson rebound. And then Shaw bowled right into Anderson. It's going to be a penalty. Or maybe a penalty shot. As Anderson held his ground against the oncoming Shaw, who was taken down.
Oh, good outlet pass there for Brent Seabrook, as you mentioned, Pat, to Andrew Shaw. He comes in all the way. He gets hooked. He gets tripped. Goes right into the netminder, and no hesitation there from referee Steve Kazari. We got ourselves a penalty shot.
Well, you can see he's been in shootouts before. He's never had a penalty shot in the NHL, and he's not taking a lot of time here. Right up the middle. Shaw against Anderson, who makes the save.
Tried to go top shelf. Andrew Shaw came in, little off center. And tries to roof this puck up and over the glove. Watch the blocker here, Pat. When Shaw goes to shoot it, see how he drops the blocker and all that room to the stick side? I mean, that's something you go to school on. Maybe not tonight. Maybe a couple days from now when the Hawks take on the Ottawa Senators. You just never know. And Just that quick little move there from from Andrew Shaw. Maybe a right-hander like Patrick Sharp could go in there and make that same type of move and look to shoot the puck to the stick side.
Carlson stripped of it. Here's a chance for Steve, but a good stick there by Phillips, and it's out of play.
By Bottas, with his assist on Jonathan Toews' goal, Patrick Kane now has 500 points.
So there you go. We mentioned that Patrick Kane, they've just announced that to the crowd. Tonight for Patrick Kane is 523rd NHL game and 500 points in the bank. And I guess it's more than a little fitting that he would get a helper on a goal by the guy he started with, used to be the roommate of, Jonathan Toews. So it all seems to fit. All right, now Borowiecki lines it around the board. Condra couldn't pick it up. Sharp did. And then Richards failed to pick up the pass. Here's a chance, Smith, and he fired it wide. Condra took a whack. It's in behind McCulloch. Center to Condra, and that shot was stopped. Rebound cleared to center ice. Now Weirkosh took it into Chicago territory.
Something broke on the ice there, Pat. Hit one of those.
Oh yeah, did fall down.
Yeah.
And need a little cleanup in behind Scott Darling.
Well, the Blackhawks have released Blackhawks Divvy bikes through the end of October. Find these bikes posting photos to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or Tumblr with the hashtag BlackhawksBike. Gives you the chance to win Blackhawks and Divvy prizes. For more information, visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com.
Zibanejad won the draw, long shot. Blockered away, rebound Weirkosh, he threw it towards the middle. Now Ceci put it in behind. Greening tried to center, it deflects to Seabrook. And the Hawks start back. Osa gets into the zone, gonna drop it to Toews. Jonathan Toews out to Brent Seabrook. He scooped it into the corner for Bickle. Ceci jostling him. Osa jammed it loose, but out of the Ottawa zone. Duncan Keith's been a +2 in his last 3 games. He gave it to Seabrook. Hawks get it in. Turris rings it around. Going to be held in. Oduya. Long wrist shot. Soaked up by Anderson. And with a couple of Hawks lurking, no rebound.
But I want to go back to that penalty shot by Andrew Shaw. He's going to move this puck into this area here, right? Now watch. Don't roll it. Watch what ends up happening. Once Shaw goes there, I want everybody to watch where the blocker goes when he goes to make the shot. And I talk about going to school. Watch what happens with the blocker. He goes to make the shot. Watch how he drops it. See how he drops it, all that room to the stick side? That's what I talk about going to school. So video coaches, Matt Meacham, players looking at it, you can look at that and say, you know, if I come in and I'm right-handed like on that shot, if I pull the puck like that, there might be an opportunity where most goaltenders have tendencies is they'll drop that hand or it's just kind of routine. That's where you go to shoot the puck. You saw how much room was in on that net to the stick side, the blocker side of Craig Anderson.
Bouncing puck here. Smith able to settle it down back to Oduya. Here it comes. Tip. Good save by Anderson on a redirect. Into the corner, Morin. Now Jeremy Morin dropped it back to Hjalmarsson. His pass picked off Turris, trying to spring a man, and it just jumped away from MacArthur. And Morin hacked it out to center. Hjalmarsson. Now Shaw. Ranked it deep. Back of the goal, Kane rings it back up the boards. Rundblad hacked it in deep. There's Shaw. He's checked by Reba.
Just looked like a little bit of a leg whip there too, Pat, with that play on Shaw.
Big shot handled by Anderson. Rebound, Greiba cleared it around. And the Sens able to get it out. Back in Kane. He put it to Saad. We got ridden to the corner. Penalty coming up against the Sens as Borliensky had too much of Brandon Saad.
Ottawa 74, minor holding.
The Hawks on a power play. Going to go back to that play back with Greiba and Andrew Shaw. It looked like, from my vantage point, there might have been a little bit of a leg whip there by Greiba on Shaw, but clearly Shaw had lost his balance there, and no call. But then the Hawks get an opportunity here with the penalty against the Sens, and the Hawks will get a man advantage opportunity.
The Sens able to win the draw. Kane steps right back in. Taves wanted Kane. The pass deflected up high. And they work in the corner. It's up the board. Smith cleared. Not out. Held in by Taves. Now Sharp. Pass deflected by the active stick of Condra, who's in a few good areas this sequence. The Senators get it out. 80 seconds left in the Hawks power play. Jonathan Taves dropped it to Duncan Keith. Taves shooting. That hit Shaw, who took a whack. Didn't get a lot on it. The skate of Phillips in his way, so Anderson covered. We played just over 26 minutes in the game. 25 shots on goal for the Chicago Blackhawks. Another draw. Taken by Ryan.
And one time back in the first period, Ottawa had, 8-2, 8-3 at one point, and of those 8 chances on Scott Darling, 4 were chances or better. Since that time, the Hawks have done a good job.
Bobby Ryan get one away against Seabrook. Half a minute for the power play. Here comes Saad going wide. Brandon Saad rings it around for Brad Richards. That hit the official, though, as Kazari was trying to get in position. Now the Sens going to have a 3-on-1. Here's a chance. They had a centering pass. They score. And the Hawks, Brad Richards, stopped playing. I mean, he got a bad break when the puck hit Kazari, but he just stood there. And they went off 3-on-1, and McCulloch has tied the game.
Pat, lots to look at here. Lots to pay attention. Here's the referee, right? Now, the Ottawa Senators are going to go for a change. Watch the official. He's looking back because this change is way too early. See the referee, how he points? Now what happens is he gets lost on the ice. Stop it right here. There's the confusion right in this area here. And now the Ottawa Senators are going back the other way. Steve Kazari was looking back. Richards stopped. 3-on-1 as you called it. No chance for Scott Darling. But clearly that was too many men on the ice when they made that change. And unfortunately for the official, he wasn't watching where he was going. He was watching what was going on behind the play. And again, the one referee system here, Pat.
Yep.
Because of the illness, Eric Furlat played a big part in that sequence of events.
All right, the Ottawa penalty over, so both teams are at full strength. And the short-handed goal by Milan McCulloch, assisted by Chiasson, and now it's a tie game. Taves rolled it to center, but Smith had a broken stick, went to get a new one. Here's a long shot handled by Darling, and he covers it up. 8 minutes gone in the second, tied at 1.
everybody's on their Blackberries, Blueberries, Boysenberries, and iPhones. Got enough problem with me phone.
Yeah. They're all texting you. Here's a long wrist shot. Blockered away Anderson. Rebound to the Sens, and MacArthur leads him up the ice. Turris, extra move to the line, forced the offside whistle.
Well, the Blackhawks would like to share their deepest condolences with the family of Happy Baird after she lost her courageous battle on Saturday, October 18th. Happy taught for 26 years at Trinity Preschool in Wilmette. She is survived by her loving husband Brad and beautiful children Dave, Sarah, and son-in-law Jeffrey, and grandson Charlie. We are thinking about Happy's family.
All right, now Condra did not try it off the boards. And the whistle goes.
Ben, I think that last opportunity, that was a shorthanded goal, correct?
Yes, sir.
So I think that's the fourth. That's the second break, or I shouldn't say, that's the second odd man situation tonight that the Hawks have given up.
While on a power play.
Exactly, yeah, against the Senators. I know coming into tonight's game, they had given up 2 breakaways while shorthand, or while on the power play. So it's been 3 now this year, including that one earlier in the first period.
Usually, if not all the times, when the so-called second unit.
Yeah, well, yeah, the
out
second
there.
unit, exactly. And sometimes it just goes and stretches like that. I mean, that's just what happens.
Here's a chance for Bickle trying to get up the middle. The stick escaped him as he got turned around, but Brian Bickle with an explosion up the middle of the ice.
Yeah, Big Bix looked like he got shot out of a cannon right through the middle of the ice here. That long reach comes all the way over, just loses it. Does a good job to try to kick that puck up, but Chiasson comes in there and knocks the stick out of Brian Bickle's hands. No shot on goal there, but good effort there from Brian Bickle. I mean, that's going to happen, Pat. I mean, go back to the shorthanded situation. Sometimes as a unit, this doesn't matter. Sometimes you just go in those stretches, those cycles where, you know, you give up a chance, or, you know, you get a boatload of chances. Are you starting the power play? Are you coming? You know, 45 seconds in, a minute and a half in. But certainly as a coaching staff, a pattern develops. And if Brent Seabrook and Brad Richards are the guy on the point, and you're giving up 3 breakaways and odd man situations, you know, like that last one was out of the ordinary for sure. Exactly what happened.
Yeah, bad break.
But it is happening. And as a coach, you look at the numbers, and we've heard this word analytics a lot in the National Hockey League. So certainly you know what is going on, and you want to give yourself a good save there from Darling.
On a redirect, Carlson's long one here goes wide.
Yeah, give yourself every opportunity.
Kane back to the other end, weaves to the middle, looks for the late man. There's Oduya, his wrister. Glove save as Anderson, even though there was some traffic, he seemed to have a very good look at it, with Shaw trying to get in his kitchen.
You know, Pat, our terrific stats man that sits about sometimes a little bit too close, but Tommy Skokna, about 5 feet to our left here, was talking about your Chicago kids. Chicago guys that have played goal in the National Hockey League. Of course, you got Al Montoya, Chicago guy. You got 2 guys here tonight. Scotty Darling in his first NHL game, Craig Anderson, member of the Blackhawks as well, and also remember Bobby Janicek back in the day in the early 80s, now scouting with the Ottawa Senators. A lot of Chicago natives able to make their mark behind the mask. I agree with you, Pat. This got to be a first that I know, is having 2 Chicago kids going head-to-head.
Wonderful, wonderful night. All right, here come the Sens. Turris along, Rashut goes wide.
For sure in this building, because you would think at some point there Montoya and Anderson would have played against each other somewhere, but certainly here in Chicago or the old stadium, I don't think so.
Bickle delivered a good jolt there to Wierkosh, but the Sens get it out. We're halfway through the second period in a 1-1 battle. Now Keith gives some ground while the Hawks are making a player change. Richards stripped of it at center. And now the Sens, Wiercott. His pass stolen by Versteeg. It bounced to the middle. Sharp took a whack. The puck was sort of fluttering, though, and it's gloved by Craig Anderson halfway through regulation time in an even match.
Hawk fans, don't forget to visit the WGN Sports Game Zone, powered by Four Seasons Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Go to WGNTV.com and click on the WGN Sports Game Zone for special up-to-minute stats and info. The Game Zone is available for every Hawks game and is brought to you by Four Seasons Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Call now for a free estimate. For all the right reasons, you know Four Seasons.
Face-off win. Richards. Here's a long shot into the glove of Anderson, who's able to hang on to it. I mentioned Craig Anderson started his career with the Blackhawks. He was here for about 2.5 years. And it is very safe to say that when he started, actually he and Michael Layton were a young goaltending tandem for a while, and the Hawks were not very good. His record as a member of the Hawks, 12, 29, and 6. But when he came to Ottawa, he actually was traded for Brian Elliott. He's the guy who got the win for St. Louis Blues last night at goal down in Missouri. Here's Patrick Sharp. Checked in the corner, dug out of there Versteeg. Battling along the board, trying to muscle in there, got help from Sharp. Now he centered it, came through to Richards, his shot deflected up high and out of play.
Pat, good face-off win there for Brad Richards and the Hawks. Keep an eye on Chris Versteeg. And I think what's going to end up happening, Trevor Van Riemsdyk's going to get this puck. He would want to go this way on the forehand off the draw. I'm sure that's something that the coaching staff will talk to Trevor Van Riemsdyk about.
Face off to Seabrook. His long wrist shot hit somebody in front. And Greening able to work his way back to center. Chiasson with a chip. And Kane takes over. Ahead looking for Saad. Trying to get away from Phillips. He does. Saad drives, pulls up. Penalty, Ottawa coming. Chance Seabrook. His shot. Anderson, good save. Rebound Saad. And the whistle is gone. I guess they felt the Ottawa Senators had the puck in. The Hawks will go to the power play.
Well, speed. Straight ahead speed by Brandon Saad. Chris Phillips interferes. And Saad creates and generates because of that simple play. Little chip, little self-chip. Chip it in, go get it.
Right stoppage, as you saw on that replay. Colin Greening hacking that rebound loose, so the Sens did have it well enough for the whistle. Here's a long shot by Keith, deflected upstairs, out of play. Hawks power play, nothing out of 3 tonight. They've had 2 shots in their first 3 opportunities.
Hawks are eating them up at this face-off dot right now. Center icemen are having their way. I think they've won the last 5 offensive zone face-offs. And now Paul McLean, the head coach of the Ottawa Senators, makes a change with the forward unit.
Hawks with a 23-16 face-off edge. Mention our stat man up here, Tommy Skoka. That's Rossi, our boy Davey Ross. Does a wonderful job on Blackhawks hockey all throughout the season. Face-off into the corner. Shaw looking for Kane. Patrick Kane to Andrew Shaw. Out to Patrick Sharp. Now Kane's got it again. He's checked. And the Ottawa Senators able to clear leg one. Good job. Keith back up the ice for Kane. Now it's back to Keith. To Sharp. His long shot. Anderson fought it off. Oh, and it's whacked out of midair by Sharp. I should say by Shaw, and it just went over top of the net.
Looking for the that chance there. Beck rather got a real hard lick in on Patrick Kane. It took him a second to get back to his feet.
A minute for this Hawk power play. Here's a kick to the stick by Saad. He pulls up. Richards now. Helped by Seabrook. Hossa now. Going back door is Saad. They couldn't get a lane. Hossa takes a look again. Saad comes to this side. Richards back to Brandon Saad. Here's Hossa with a stop attempt. Anderson beat him. Rebound. He made a second save on Hossa. Held in Richards. Shooting. Missed the net. And it's going to be held in by Saad. Richards over to Hossa. Now Bickle. This pass picked off by Zibanejad, but it's going to be held in at the line. Richards. Seabrook fires. He scores! A Bickle screen out in front of the net, and Seabrook's shot finds the back. It's 2-1.
Brad Richards makes a heck of a play to keep this play alive. This puck is going to come at him, and this is not an easy play to handle. I mean, that's one of those where that puck can explode off the boards. He moves it D to D. You mentioned the screen by Brian Bickle. Beautiful shot there from Brent Seabrook. And the second power play unit scores a power play goal, and you see from our Honda goal replay, net front presence, quick passing, and the Hawks with a 1-goal lead.
Right now it's cleared back into Ottawa territory. Puck came loose toward the goal mouth, and Anderson will take a whistle there. Well, head coach Paul McLean has, in the early stages of the year, been very happy with his two goaltenders, Anderson and Robin Lehner. They've been pretty solid in the blue paint for the Sens. Part of the reason they come in with 9 points out of 12 to start the year. That area was something a lot of people questioned during their playoff-free season a year ago. Both guys have started well this year.
And a couple of years ago when they had that terrific run there in Paul McLean's first year, I think that the goaltending certainly camouflaged a lot of issues. And sometimes in a lot of situations it does camouflage problems.
Here's Bickle putting it down. The puck was rolling on him though. And he gets it back, but his feed deflected away from Hjalmarsson. Marian Hossa, who picked up the second assist on that Bickle goal. He gave it to Taves, who shot his block. Hossa with his 998th NHL point there. This one's turned over, and the Sens Condra got surrounded by three at the blue line, and the Sens, even with that 1 against 3, they had too many men on the ice. That one detected by Steve Kazari, and the Hawks will head to the power play when we come back. The last power play resulted in the lead goal.
Too many for the Ottawa Senators. And the Hawks get a man advantage, and that's that second period, Pat. Long change, right?
Yeah.
The longest change from your defensive zone. You want to get out there and help out a little bit.
Andrew Shaw had the pass jump loose.
Ottawa penalty, a 2-minute bench minor for 2 minutes on the ice at 14:46. The penalty free serve at number 16, Mike Hoffman.
Out comes Keith. Now Kane gets the line. Good scoop pass. Just jumped away from Taves. He dropped it back to Keith. Sharp. Keith. Well, that puck got outside the line. So the offside whistle goes. Mark Shuchek just a couple of feet away. Made the call.
And a quick change here. 35 seconds. Joe Quenneville going with the unit that got the last power play goal.
Ooh, a pass just out of the reach of Saad, who might have been right in otherwise. Now he battles to the middle, got taken down by Ceci. And a clearing attempt deflects over the glass into the... We lose a puck and gain a faceoff.
Oh.
Thank you, Lloyd.
A la Lloyd there.
Wonder how many games he did on Channel 9 back in the day. As a teenager, I used to love getting babysitting jobs on Saturday night because you could always watch the Hawks on. The kids were in bed early that night.
If they were out in California, that might have been a problem.
Yeah.
It was a little too late.
The Senators play a little keep away, and we're down under a minute left on the Hawks' power play. Richards leads him up the ice. Put it on the stick of Hossa. Able to weave his way in there. Marian Hossa looks to the corner. Richards is back door. Now he'll pull back to the boards. Hossa helped by Saad. Nichols at the front of the net. Here's Hossa with a long shot. Blocked by Phillips. Came in front. Richards, and he had his pass broken up. And the Sens clear.
And did not pull the trigger right away. Had a chance. I think he was going to try to buy some time, draw everybody to his side, and make a pass back. Good try there from Bickell.
Kane looks towards Taves. Jonathan Taves got hit hard in the corner. Puck rolled loose, and the Sens now get out, but the pass did not click. The penalty over. Both teams full strength. This is going to be icing Chicago.
Well, Blackhawk fans, want to be tonight's Budding Lunch Meats featured fan of the game? Say that 3 times fast, partner. Tweet us a family-themed pic with the hashtag HawkFanPhoto, and you might be featured on air tonight. Budding Lunch Meats. Make more than a sandwich.
Torres pulled the draw back to Phillips. His long shot, seen all the way by Scott Darling. And the Hawks have now more than doubled the Ottawa shot count. I mean, the Sens have taken 3 unanswered penalties here in this period, which helps, obviously, but it's been a while since Scott Darling has felt the puck. So you certainly have to be impressed with his first 37 minutes of NHL play.
Line juggling here late in the second period, Pat, to Jeremy Moore, not on this line with Kruger and Ben Smith. Joe Quenneville goes to Christopher Stieg.
Sens win a draw, shot MacArthur blocked, and Versteeg comes out, and that shot stung Kruger. He is slow to get up, and he's going to head right to the Hawks bench with some difficulty, it appears. Now the puck dumped in. Hjalmarsson fires it around, and it bounced all the way out. Zibanejad trying to pass it to himself, but a lot of traffic there in front of him.
He's got a lot of skill, but he's been really quiet here tonight.
Now the Sens get in. Hoffman taken down by Oduya. Picked up by Saad. He cleared it to center. Oduya looks to Shaw, whose pass was broken up at the blue line. Now the Sens regroup. Borowiecki cleared it across Ceci. Pass missed Chieson. The race for icing is won by Seabrook.
Well, you made mention of it, Pat. The face-off win for Ottawa. Marcus Kruger going out for his assignment. You got to get in the shooting lane. He lies down, and not sure where it catches him, but still had some difficulties on that bench. Great job there of selling out by Marcus Kruger, and see the reaction there, the expression on his face. I'm sure there's been some guys on there just telling him it's a long way from the heart. Everything will be okay at some point here. Good to see Mike Gapsky did not really make his way all the way down to see Marcus Kruger, so that certainly is a good sign. Doesn't take away the pain.
Doesn't make it hurt any less, but yeah. All right, 90 seconds to go in the second. Versteeg into the zone. Threw it into the other corner, hoping for Richards. And the Sens able to get it out. Seabrook banks it ahead, just missed Versteeg. And Sens tried to get in, but Smith was checked by Seabrook, who separated him from the puck. Into Ottawa territory, Anderson fires it off the glass and out. Oh, a near too many men against Fox. Now a 3-on-2. Smith drives, dropped it. Oh, and he didn't connect with McCulloch. That should have been a great scoring chance for the Sens. They messed it up. Here's McCulloch, who's centering pass broken up. Richards. Puck back to the line. A long shot by Greiba. Didn't get through. Smith, his backhand shot blocked. Now a penalty, Chicago coming up. And as the Hawks get it, the whistle goes with half a minute left in the period.
Not a good penalty here by Johnny Oduya. Zach Smith was in behind the net here, Pat. You just get your stick down or just live to fight another day. And right there, right across the hands, that's one of those where you can just, he's not going to hurt you from back there. And I know what Johnny Oduya is trying to do there, but you're better off to just keep him there and then get back to the front of the net and defend. And now you open up the door for the Senators on a power play very late in the second.
The draw is won by the Hawks, and Kruger doesn't miss a shift, by the way, after he limped off last shift. He's out here to PK with Smith to finish the period. Turris dumped it. Deflected to Legwand, looking to center. It was at the feet of Turris. 10 left. And Carlson sets things up. His long shot blocked by Smith right in the shooting lane. And that's going to finish the second period. 17 more shots for Chicago in the second. The Senators had just 5. And 40 minutes into it, 34 Chicago shots, 17 Ottawa shots. All the scoring coming in the second. Jonathan Toews with a wraparound to put the Hawks out in front. They then yielded a shorty on a 3-on-1 break. But Brett Seabrook on the Hawks power play put him in front.
Very composed. He's very, very composed for his first game in the NHL. And you look at him this morning, he came out and he had a few shots. Jimmy Waite got him warmed up and talked to him a little bit, but I think we just kind of basically left him alone, and he just had his own way of getting set and ready for the game.
Hey, Kitch, what have you liked from your team through 2 periods of play?
Well, I thought we supported the puck a lot better in the offensive zone. We had a good forecheck rotation when it did change side to side. But in neutral zone, we still got room for improvement there. We got to make sure we have early decisions where either there's sometimes we can shoot through the rush and use the screen, or other times we got to get it in behind their D with a real close support coming across.
Kitch, this is not a team that loses a lot of games, but no, 2 in a row you've dropped coming into this. Was that either a wake-up call, or did you detect any sort of a different approach tonight?
Well, we're not quite used to losing more than 2 in a row, and that's our nature. That's our leadership in the dressing room. They grab a hold of each other also. As long as our coach's message goes through the dressing room there, and our leadership takes over from there, and then it's a good job. And they come out and they got everyone playing here.
All right, appreciate a couple minutes. Good luck here in the third.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kitch.
Thanks to Mike Kitchen and Kevin Dineen, who alternate taking a minute or two with us before every third period that we televise, which we really appreciate.
And we appreciate the Blackhawks Media Relations Department for setting that up each and every night, and take great Blackhawk fans inside.
Yeah, those guys need to be reminded. And then,
Yeah, they got more pressing matters.
They got a few other issues they're dealing with. All right, they get it in on the power play. Ryan dropped it. Carlson shot it. Good blocker save, and Darling had a good look at that. Carlson again. Now they get things set up. Turris, Carlson. They come this way to Legwand. Turris going back door. It's instead to Carlson. There's Turris down low. MacArthur's at the front of the net. And it's Carlson to Legwand. He waits. Here's MacArthur who peeled off to the corner. Now here's Carlson's one-timer and a good look for Darling, who juggled momentarily but covered it up. And for a while the Senators had the net front presence, but when they shot it, Carlson had nobody in front.
Well, nobody, I mean, that's the whole key, Pat, is that really there was nobody mirroring Scotty Darling in front of net. He'll make that save all night long. The Blackhawks will give that shot on a penalty kill like that.
Carlson with half-minute of power play time. Here's Turris' blast, picked away Darling. Ryan sandwiched on the board. Turris a keep to Carlson. Turris got it across. Here's MacArthur a shot. Blocked Seabrook. Rebound Turris. Goes down low. Ryan takes a look. Threw it across to Carlson. Now here's a long blast. Turris, that's blocked. Rebound. Oh, what a save by Darling as the puck seemed to deflect. He might have still gotten a piece. Here's Turris a shot. Darling with the left pad. Rebound. Held in Turris. The Ottawa power play over. Both teams at full strength. And they try to keep the heat on, but a steal here by Taves. 2-on-1 with Hossa. From center ice, it's Taves with Hossa to the net. And a great recovery. Legwand scurried back and prevented a shot from the Hawks captain, who's then taken down. Penalty Ottawa. Here's a long shot by Kane, blocked. Coming off the bench is Saad. Hawks have 6 out there with the delayed penalty coming up. Here's Keith shooting. Blockered away by Anderson. It's out of play.
Oh, a couple of good looks for the Ottawa Senators. And Scotty Darling closing the door. And then back the other way. You mentioned it, Pat. David Legwand did an unbelievable job at the end of a long power play, denying Jonathan Taves and then Clark MacArthur. Not exactly a walk in the park, but a tripping call, and he ends up in the box. Power play chance for the Hawks. I've been sitting on that all evening.
Don't worry, you'll get a chance on Thursday, too.
You know what? If they had a camera up here, that people just, when I was starting with that, you turned that beautiful head of yours, you knew that was coming.
Here's a long one, flipped to the net by Cowan. That's handled by Darling, who will take a whistle.
And this is an opportunity here, Pat, on this power play to really cause some separation. Brandon Saad coming in here for a late change. They get Saad to come take the face-off. There's no Jonathan Taves on this power play right now. He's having a little bit of a skate issue.
Yeah, Troy Parchment scurrying in there behind the bench. And they get that rectified. Meanwhile, Kane carries to Saad. And then Saad rings it around. Phillips tried to clear. Needs help. Phillips tries again. That's off the glass. And then out of play.
Actually, Jonathan Taves and Marian Hossa getting their skates worked on. You got double duty. Clint Reif there to the right, and there's Troy Parchment. You can see his left arm working on the skate of Marian Hossa. So double duty in a matter of about 30 seconds for the head equipment men for the Blackhawks. Now Taves takes his normal spot on this #1 uniform.
And pulls the draw back. Kane is checked along the boards. Now Sharp brings it around to Keith. Taves spins it back to Keith. Hot pass. Kane, tough angle, goal post. Oh, we beat Anderson, drew iron. He thought he had scored. He went palms up, not believing that one didn't go in.
Beautiful pass there from Duncan Keith.
Minute for the Hawks power play. Now Taves back into the zone. Checked by Ceci, who separates him from the puck. The Hawks will have to chase back. Marian Hossa for Brandon Saad. Saad helped by Shaw. Hossa joins in. He's checked by Phillips. And McCulloch cleared it. And Reemzijk in the tail end of this Hawks man advantage. Which has one more rush available. Rundblad carries to Hossa. His pass missed. That's going to finish the Ottawa penalty. Both teams are at full strength. David Rundblad fires it back into Senator Ice. Cleared up the boards, and Ryan rolled it across to the other side. Hanged in Wierkosh, back into Duya. Chalmerson got hit. Duya poked it to the near side. And it's taken by Smith. Morin. Put it in behind the Ottawa goal.
Good pickup too there by Morin. Patty had both skates, and off his left, off his right, was able to get it in deep.
And he's got the puck again. Kruger to the net. No lane though. Kruger's in behind. Smith also. He's checked. And now it's taken by Morin. Then Smith trying to fly it off the boards, and he just didn't connect with Kruger on the pass attempt. Well, the Sens start back. Long bank pass missing Torres. That's offside.
The third period is given by Hunt.
Pat, I want to go back to the decision by Joel Quenneville to take Andrew Shaw off the ice for that faceoff and put Brandon Saad. I mean, Andrew Shaw is just a shade. I think he's 47-48% on the faceoffs over the course of the year. But in this game here, Andrew Shaw coming into the third period only won one faceoff of 7. So, I mean, those are subtle little moves by a coach, not taking anything for granted. Yes, you're on the power play. You have the man advantage. But you know what? If you see it, you have the opportunity to make that adjustment and to make that change. That was a good job there by Joel Quenneville, right in the game all the time, but it's a subtle little move. Maybe fans might not recognize and say, well, why would he take him off? Well, his coaches told me in the past that the video and the numbers never lie. That's what he did. He gave his team a good opportunity there to win that draw.
Right now the Sens look to start away. Hoffman dumped it in. Keith back. And Seabrook now. It's towards Shaw. Neat kick to the stick. That time he'll chip and chase. Phillips back. Rolled it up the boards, and the Sens. Neal gets out. Here it had McCulloch trying to get away from Rundblad. He does. Turns behind the net. McCulloch centering pass came in. There's a shot. Big save by Darling. A point-blank chance for Legwand, and Darling beat him. Now it's up off the netting and out of play. But Scott Darling continuing to excel in the blue paint for the Blackhawks tonight to keep his team up 1 right there.
Toyota, let's go places. Well, the record under Coach Q in the second game of back-to-backs. Pretty darn impressive.
This is the first, sorry, this is the first back-to-back set for the Blackhawks this year. I believe they have 15 scheduled.
Which is pretty normal for, it's probably the average throughout the National Hockey League.
Senators dig it out, quick shot. Zibanejad went wide. And Shaw wants it back to center. Seabrook with a little time. He's going to get into Ottawa ice along Mister. Blocking away Anderson. Came right back to Seabrook, who then lost control. Kane gets it though. Back to Seabrook. He lets it go. That just missed the far post. Taken by Shaw. Kane in behind. Taken down by Carlson, who looks to counterattack for Ottawa. This guy can go. Erik Karlsson rolled it in. Here's the Hoffman shot. Right on. Darling stopped it. Rebound taken by the Hawks, and Shaw the other way. Keith looks to Kane, but he's at the end of a shift. Had to peel off. drive it at Turris. Rolled it ahead. Whacked by MacArthur well wide to Phillips. Mark MacArthur's down low. Dug off the boards by the Sens. Came back to MacArthur. Centered it. Here's Ceci. And a big save by Darling. Rebound to the Sens. Turris got checked in the corner. Cody Ceci looking to keep it in. Put it in behind the net. It finally goes to Phillips. Then Turris. Phillips a keep. A long wrister. Well off the mark. And on the boards, Bickle able to clear his own end. Chris Phillips, who was the first player picked in the draft way back in 1986. This pass picked off, though, came to Morin to the backhand. Couldn't get rid of it. Morin helped on the boards by Smith. Jeremy Morin. Going to pry it off the wall. And worked over by Legwand. And it's back to center ice. Picked up McCulloch, moving in on Seabrook. Elon McCulloch stripped of it by Brent Seabrook. And now Morin able to separate Legwand for the puck, so the Hawks get it out. 9 minutes gone in the third. 2-1 in favor of the Hawks. Chris Neal stripped away. A blowout at center ice. A long pass just missing Richards from Versteeg. Richards centered it. Here's the shot by Sharp. And a save by Anderson. Now a corner battle. As Neal giving a rough ride to Versteeg, and the Sens able to come out with it. Turned around by Gorvietsky. And that one went outside the line. The Sens back in offside.
Nice play there from Brad Richards, recognizing he had Patrick Sharp over his right shoulder to create a chance. And go back a couple of minutes, Pat. Scott Darling with a real good chance off of Ceci. I don't think he got a lot on that shot, but he did get it towards the net in the left pad. And Scott Darling denied the opportunity.
Going to be icing Chicago. Ottawa last year was actually a little bit better of a road team than they were at home. They were 5 games over 500 on the road, so they were the top half of the NHL in terms of their road performance. Had they been better on home ice, they might have qualified for the postseason. But they had a real good start this year, and Paul McLean won't say that he thinks he's got a playoff team. He's got a lot of young players on this team, but some real talent. And those who follow the Sens think they have a real good chance to qualify in the Eastern Conference. Centering pass. Oh, a one-timer went just wide as puck came out in front to Neal. I should say to Smith, and the next shot deflects high and out of play. With half the third period gone, Blackhawks up 1.
Well, Blackhawk fans, take a look at the all-new Chevy Malibu. 2015 Chevy Malibu is a real game changer. It's all about drive. See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealer today, or go to ChevyDriveChicago.com and drive what Kane and Taves drive. And Eddie Olczyk.
Anybody else? Oh, yeah, okay. There you go with an ad lib. Way to go. Now Seabrook lost possession of Greening in behind. Backhand shot. Darling had it. Now Seabrook takes over. Smith able to pound it out. Sends back in Smith for Greening. Alan Greening. It's in behind against Smith.
Hawks played really only 4 defensemen here, Pat.
What is it?
The majority of the game.
Shift, yeah. It shift earlier in this period with a couple of the young guys out there, and Senators had a real good chance or two. Here's a long shot by Morin. Anderson made the save. Smith picks it up. And Smith left it for Jonathan Toews. And he'll work his way out of the corner. Toews back to Oduya. His pass for Hossa tipped it just wide. And cleared back by Condra. Hawks been outshot 11-4 in this third period by the Sens. Here's Hossa moving in, shooting. Anderson the same rebound. He made a second stop on Hossa, who fouled it up. Now Toews. Got help from Oduya, whose flip shot went off a leg. Toews gets it back, centered. It deflected up into the air, out of the reach of Bickle. Phillips comes away. Trying to get in there. Hjalmarsson cleared it back to the neutral area. Bobby Ryan rolled it to Erik Karlsson. Did not get through the traffic in the Hawk zone. There's going to be icing Chicago.
Right idea, though. Johnny Oduya, knowing that he missed an opportunity to get the puck to Kris Versteeg. Good try, good thought process. Ottawa turns the puck over at the blue line, and then the quick counter. Oduya to Versteeg. Watch the reaction to Johnny Oduya here after he makes that pass. Hopefully get a chance to see that next TV timeout or quick whistle, but he knew he missed an opportunity.
Now Hoffman's pass tipped over to the other side. Seabrook turned it over. Chiasson put it out in front of shot. Oh, a redirect stopped by the left pad of Darling. The fine mobility, able to keep his team in front. And that's an offside play, Ottawa.
Well, the Chicago native, Scott Darling, has done an unbelievable job in his first National Hockey League game. Not an easy save. Expecting a little bit of a quicker shot, change of pace. That's to kick the left pad out and fight it off and keep it out from a possible second or third chance opportunity. But go back to that first period. Boy, he made a couple of terrific A+ saves off of A+ chances when the game was scoreless.
Here's Sharp with a shot. It missed the target. Neal cleared to center. Back comes Versteeg. He's going to look to the middle with a shot. Good right pad from Anderson.
Bouncing the whole way. That was a good stop.
This one dumped into Ottawa ice. Down to 7 minutes remaining in the third. 2-1 in favor of the Hawks. McCulloch into Chicago territory to Neal. Arister floats wide. And Ceci kept it in. McCulloch lines it in deep. Hjalmarsson up the boards. Kane tipped it loose right to Ceci. His blast is blocked. And Hjalmarsson able to backhand it out of there. Tourist with a dump. Hjalmarsson back. Hit it up an open wing. That's held in. Phillips a long shot. Kicked away by Darling. Rebound cleared to center. Here's Toews. He got Kane with him. Toews right to the net. 2-on-1 to Kane. Bouncing puck. And he didn't connect on the pass. Here's Oduya keeping it in. That got gummed up on the boards, and Ceci comes out. Now Wiercioch for the Sens. Karlsson, the Ottawa captain, newly named this year. These are the last two Ottawa captains have chosen to leave town. Alfredson a couple of years ago. Spezza last season has to be traded, and now here's icing Chicago.
Yes, Spezza, we saw him early, real early, though, the first game of the regular season. Now down in Dallas. And you know, Pat, you were talking about Ottawa. I mean, to me, is that do they have enough offensive finish to be able to be one of those teams to be able to take that next step like they were in the playoffs a couple of years ago? I just don't know if they have enough finish offensively to be able to be one of those playoff teams in the East. It's the only question. I mean, you mentioned their
Do
defense
you
is
like
young.
their D
Oh,
enough?
I do.
Okay,
I mean,
all
I've
right.
been really impressed with the way they played. Now they give up chances, but I just think is, do they have enough offensive finish? Because I think their system will allow them to be in a lot of games because they're going to play close to the vest and not give up a lot.
Five minutes to go in regulation. A 1-goal lead for the Blackhawks. Morin working in the corner. Jammed away Ceci, and Neal came out with it. McCulloch to the corner. Checked by Rundblad. Rare shift for the two kids out here in this third period.
And their last shift was against this line, and they had that great chance.
But now they're going to waltz out of his own. Van Riemsdyk put it in for Smith, who shot is blocked. Smith got taken down by Legwand. And now to send Ceci. Put it into Chicago ice. McCulloch to the corner. Brings it around. Ryan, a weak shot handled easily by Darling. Back comes Sharp. For Saad, back to Sharp. He'll take a look to shoot. Stand-up save Anderson. He holds. Well, for the Ottawa Senators, this is the start of their father's trip. They actually have all their dads with them to be on the trip. And from here, they go to Columbus. But look what they've been looking at for the last day here in Chicago. Right, here's the Ford upcoming schedule. A big game on Tuesday, one of the best in the West. The Anaheim Ducks here for a 7:30 start. Then a 2-game road trip through Ontario will be in Ottawa on Thursday night and in Toronto on Saturday night. And then incredibly, the Hawks come back for one game, then they go back to Montreal. Every once in a while, you look at the schedule and go, does anybody in that office have a map? Now, Hjalmarsson pressured in the corner by Turris. Ryan joining in. MacArthur came up with it. Dropped it out to the line. Carlson to MacArthur, walking to the middle, shooting. Good save by Darling. Rebound. Oh, shot wide. Great chance for the Ducks, or for the Sens, but they missed the target. As Phillips getting down low. He's got the puck now, looking to center. Hit the side of the net. Picked off Hjalmarsson, trying to flip it ahead. Hossa had taken off. The pass missed him. And no icing with a hustle play, Hossa. The Sens get it back in the lock zone. There's Turris. A weak shot handled by Darling, who will take a whistle.
Well, you mentioned Chris Phillips, Pat. What a great chance, and he just misses on short side. Left part of your screen. Here comes Phillips, 4 wide. He has it right there, and I think he's got to shoot wide because Hjalmarsson sprawls out and doesn't allow him to shoot at that vacant area in behind Scott Darling.
Sens get the draw. Hoffman, helped by Ceci, long flip shot. Ooh, that just missed. Cleared in behind. Chiasson had it knocked away. Wiercioch could not keep it. 3 minutes to go in period 3. Ceci's pass missing. Icing. 32 saves in the game so far for Scott Darling. And Eddie told a little bit about his path, but I mean, the U.S. Hockey League, the Southern Pro Hockey League. I wonder how many NHL goalies they've ever spent any time in the Southern Professional League. The East Coast League. A few guys have come from there, but the American League last year. And I mean, Mike Kitchen mentioned it when we had our chat with the Hawks assistant coach. Composure, very calm in the net. And he's been terrific so far tonight. Now we're looking at another shot. A rocket from Zibanejad was up too high. And Keith cleared it ahead. Saad steps into the zone. And inside. Pass outside the line.
Reminders now for Blackhawk players as the blue lines get the puck out at your blue line, get it in at the Senators' blue line. You don't want any turnovers in that area of the ice.
Kane going to put this one deep, as Coach Olczyk advised. Now Carlson who last year had 70 points at the Ottawa defense. He clears it ahead. Pass picked off Chalmerson. Shot it the other way. The race on for icing. Sharp's going to save the whistle. Anderson has to come out and play it. There's Kruger for Sharp. Jumped away to Versteeg. A wrist shot handled by Anderson with 103 seconds left in the third.
A little bit of line juggling going on by Joel Quenneville. Just said Kruger, Sharp, and Versteeg. Now he comes back with Taves, Hossa, and Ben Smith. And now he leaves Sharp out on the ice. This line reunited. See the numbers face-off wise. Good advantage there for the Hawks.
Now it's taken by Chalmerson. Going to try a long shot, missing the target. Comes loose in behind. And now MacArthur runs it across, and a bank pass picked off by Oduya. Picked up by Hossa. Dropped it for Sharp. Moves to the middle. The shot. Put off by Anderson. Good stop. Sharp gets it back for Taves. Spins it back. Seabrook. He and Taves, the goal scorers tonight. Now Sharp takes a look. His wrist shot kicked away Anderson. Final minute now of regulation. Here's Kyle Turris. He missed Ryan with a pass. Wheels off to change. The Ottawa net is empty. Here's Keith. Cleared it ahead. Hawks made sure to get it past the red line. And in the corner, Smith working. But it escaped him, and Chiasson gets it back for Ottawa. 6 attackers, Senators. Half a minute remaining. They're down 1. Carlson leads them out of their own end. Chiasson short when he dumped it in. The race is on, and it's icing Ottawa. So you see Anderson has to come back in the game, and unless his team scores, he's in danger of losing for just the second time in regulation to the team he once rooted for in 9 decisions. So now, seem to be not too sure where the faceoff was going to be placed. Looks like it's going to be in the neutral zone.
I think they might be saying it was offsides. That's why the faceoff where Chiasson shot the puck from, and a timeout is coming from the Ottawa Senators with 23.2 seconds to go. You know, Pat, I mentioned a little bit earlier about pretty much, I think Van Riemsdyk and Rundblad have only had 2 shifts in this third period max, and the Blackhawks have played with 4 defensemen, and you consider the schedule that they've had as of late. Tuesday night, Thursday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and then 48 hours from now, the hottest team in the entire National Hockey League coming into action today. The Anaheim Ducks will be in town. Something to keep an eye on here moving forward for the Hawks coming after this game tonight.
Well, Keith and Seabrook with their workload expanding a little bit. Seabrook at about 25 minutes now. Keith over 27. Although, I'm sure part of that, Eddie, as you're well aware, a day off scheduled tomorrow for the Blackhawks, so that enters into it. But Anderson still on the ice here as the draw, taken by Saad. Fights his way in deep. He wants to try to just take some time off the clock in the corner. Smith in there as well. As the clock winds down to 11, Kruger, the Sens can't get the puck off the board. Now they do, down to 6. Here they come. Hoffman into the zone, bouncing up the middle, swept to the corner, Chalmerson. Hawks win! Hawks win, and Scott Darling, the Lamont boy, in his first ever NHL game in the United Center, a 32-save victory.
That is just awesome stuff, and you can see the reaction from the players, his teammates, acknowledging his first NHL start, and high fives, pats all around, and most guys are looking up on this team to Scott Darling because how big of a human he is, and rightfully so. What a performance. Go back to that first period, Pat, where he was sensational early in this game. Congratulations to Scotty. Congratulations to his family, and he acknowledges, looks like some people in the crowd, and what a night for the Chicago native. Something he will never forget. A well-deserved first National Hockey League win and goal.